that.
You see where it's recording?
Yes, thank you
Yes,
so much.
now we're recording. Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, thank you.
Welcome.
Okay.
All right, so is everyone able to view the agenda?
Yes, commissioners, and if you're ready, 5B04 will submit a amendment or removal from the agenda.
Okay, and
So,
okay, so that's number 3 on our agenda under line item D.
yes, I'm sorry, I'm looking at it now. D number, yes, it's just number 3. Yes, I'm 5B04 will submit that we will remove the vote on the Reed Street Development PUD CBA.
Okay, thank you. And also I will be removing the BZA number 20681. Okay, so there's a motion on the floor to amend the agenda. Is there anything else anyone else wants to remove that hasn't been changed thus far?
Is there anything left to remove? I'm kidding.
Anyone
Well,
else?
An hour and a half.
No. Does anybody else have anything to remove?
No, ma'am.
Okay, there are 2 motions on the floor to remove BZA application 20681. Also to remove ANC 5B 04's Reed Street Development from the agenda.
Can I second?
Thank
No,
you.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. Go ahead, I'll talk.
I second the motion. I second the motion.
Emotion?
Nah, that's what I said. I second the motion.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to remove the previously stated BZ application and development from our agenda. Call for the vote. Do we require a roll call vote this evening?
I would like a roll call vote.
Okay, ANC 5B01,
Yay.
ANC 5B03,
Yay.
ANC 5B04,
Yes.
ANC 5B05.
Aye.
Okay, the ayes have it to remove those items.
Mhm.
And we're going to go ahead and move forward. Commissioner Pereira sent out minutes for October, and we received the minutes for November today. Has everyone had an opportunity to take a look at the minutes? And are there any changes needed?
What is this? The ANC meeting.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Might as well watch it.
If you
Someone's not on mute.
Would you please mute your line, Ms. Mosley, please? Thank you.
I don't know how.
Yes, Miss Ruth and Miss Mosley.
She says she doesn't know how. Okay, no problem. I got you.
Okay.
Okay, commissioners, has everyone had the opportunity to review the minutes? You can unmute yourselves. Please.
I mean,
Yes.
I've had an opportunity to review them when I was writing them.
Yes, for 5B04. I heard we were voting on October minutes. I thought we were only voting on November. I thought we voted on October last meeting. No?
No, we did.
We did. Okay, yes.
With
Yes,
correct.
I'm with you.
Yes.
Yes, with the corrections to add who seconded each motion and specific approval of the agenda.
Okay, so,
Oh, yes.
okay, so we got the final copy for that, and that was what was submitted? Commissioner?
So, sorry, who was that question directed to?
The minutes that we voted on and that were corrected, are those the minutes that you had submitted with your finance reports?
Oh, me?
Commissioner, I mean, yes.
Yes, yes. I submitted the draft copy with first rounds of QFR.
Okay, so you did,
That was the draft. So that was the uncorrected the first minutes that Commissioner Pereira sent out.
So I think,
Okay.
and I'm happy to resend it to everyone on 11/16, I think it was. I included all of our colleagues on it, but I sent it directly to Ms. Dickerson.
no, I said that we did receive the October minutes. That's, the question was to Commissioner Amin, was when he uploaded the information, did he upload the correct minutes? That was the question.
No, I uploaded the first round, the first minutes, the ones without the corrections.
And then Commissioner Pereira sent the corrected information to Ms. Dickerson. I'm just trying to get clarity. Yes?
Yeah, with my colleagues copied. I sent it, Chair, I believe you were on it, and so was Commissioner
No,
Amin.
I heard that part. I just want to ensure that the corrected minutes were sent after he had uploaded the previous minutes. That was my question. Okay, so we're just voting on the November's minutes. Okay, anybody have any questions prior to us approving those minutes?
No.
No, from 5B04.
Commissioner Costello?
No.
Okay, all right, so we're gonna, is there a motion to approve those minutes?
I move to approve the minutes from November.
Second dimension.
Okay, is that Commissioner Pereira?
Yes, Commissioner Costello placed the motion on the floor and Commissioner Pereira seconded it.
Okay. All right. Call for the vote. Are we doing another roll call?
Yes.
Okay. ANC 5B01,
Yes.
ANC 5B03,
Yes,
ANC 5B04,
Yes.
ANC 5B05.
Yes.
All right, motion has been placed on the floor, seconded, and it has been moved. Thank you so much. At this time, is Mr. Hunter on the line to do the mayor's report? Mr.
Yes.
Hunter? Okay, we're gonna move forward. Is Mr. Grant on the phone, me on the line from Councilmember, I can't even talk, McDuffie's
McDuffie.
office.
Yes, I am here. Can you all hear me?
Yes, Mr. Grant, how are you this evening?
I'm great. Happy New Year to all the commissioners and all the folks that are attending tonight's ANC 5B meeting. And I wanted to give some brief updates and take any questions that I may be able to answer. The first piece is a council member led the way to provide DMPED with grant making authority to put $40 million into COVID relief for eligible businesses throughout the city. And so I'm putting in the chat the link if there are any businesses in 5B that you all can think of that may be in need of the funding that is available through DMPED. As you know, the council and the mayor have worked closely together for a number of months to ensure that businesses have access to relief dollars. And so this additional 40 million went out on Monday. And hopefully for the folks that you all know that are in business that are eligible, they'll be able to take advantage of that. And so the link that I put in the chat will give you more insight on the eligibility. And hopefully you all can make the connection with the businesses in 5B and beyond. The second thing I wanted to note, and I'll be adding another link in the chat in a few seconds, but we are now in budget and performance season. And so I've put in the chat a link to a budget survey that has been created by our office. And the goal of that survey is to get feedback from residents to help inform the council member as he goes into budget season. There are about maybe 16 or 17 questions, wide-ranging topics from economic development to transportation, public safety, environmental issues, and a host of other questions. And so what we're asking is for as many residents as possible to submit responses on the online link. We also have copies over at the Woodridge Library, and we're also going to be visiting a number of senior buildings with hard copies so that they can have an opportunity to fill out the surveys as well. Your insight and responses to these questions, again, will inform the council members' efforts as he goes into budget season, working with his colleagues and the mayor to finalize his budget. The last piece I'll mention is that, as you all know, in 5B, there's definitely been some challenges with gun violence in the Brentwood area, specifically at the 1300 block of Brentwood Road. Yesterday, the council member sent out a communication requesting that the Quick Trip convenience store be closed at least temporarily until there can be a further investigation of what's taking place. Earlier this month, I believe it was January 6th, we hosted a meeting with ANC commissioners. Commissioner Pia Carrot was not able to attend because she was out of the country, but Commissioner Higgins, I believe you were on that Zoom that we had, and there were also a host of residents that live in that SMD. We had a number of agencies, including the Attorney General's office, the ONE's office, the Department of Parks and Recs, Department of Transportation, and the U.S. Attorney's Office on the call to talk about the violence that had happened at the end of 2021. And we had that meeting, and there was some follow-up items that we were working on. And then suddenly yesterday or 2 days ago, we had the additional shooting. And so it's gotten to a point where residents have said they noticed a stark difference when that Quick Trip was closed for a month. Literally no one was hanging there. And then suddenly when it reopened, the violence kicked back up again. There were also at least 2 events in the last 2 weeks involving knives as well. So the climate of violence is just unbecoming. And we're working on a number of measures at that intersection, and also some discussions around changing the street pattern there. I can't guarantee that there'll be a change, but we are working with VDOT to explore options for that. And then obviously you all know about the park upgrades that were put in the budget for DPR and DGS. And so it's our understanding that sometime in the summer, ideally May of 2022, that there should be a completion of those upgrades. And if that changes, I'll keep you all posted. But with that, Chairperson Higgins, I'll give you back the floor. If there are any questions that I can't answer, I'll try to answer to the best of my abilities.
Thank you so much. Does anybody have any questions?
No question. I just want to give a big shout out to Mr. Grant. He has been incredibly helpful in this whole process, taking my texts and calls at all hours and really making himself available to me and to the community to address this issue. So, Mr. Grant, thank you so much for your support and help on this.
You're very welcome.
Do we have any other questions?
No. 501, no.
So it's when will,
Commissioner Amin,
I'm sorry, Mr. Carley. Yeah, I too, when will we, the AC commissioners, have an opportunity to give our input for the budget? I know that we're we're in budget talks now, and we have some things over here in 5B and 5B04 that we want to bring to council members' attention this year for the next budget.
Certainly. So at any point when you all are ready to submit specific issues with 5B, certainly you can go through the commission and submit a letter to us, documenting the things that you all would like to see. I mean, we would definitely welcome that. And I'm sorry I don't have the link with me at the moment, but I'll try to retrieve it. The link for the performance oversight schedule, if you don't already have it. I think Kelly may have sent it out, but if she hasn't sent it out to you all, I can resend it so that you all can have the link. And if you have any specific issues for specific agencies, we can look at your document, break those out, and that can help inform our questions when the council member attends those meetings too.
Thank you.
Commissioner Costello, do you have any questions for Mr. Grant?
I don't know. Thank you so much for the update.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Mr. Grant. We really appreciate you joining us this evening.
Thank you all as well.
All right. And I do see Captain Moore is on the line. Sir, you have the floor.
All right, thank you for having me. It's been a hectic evening. We had a little shooting down around New York and Florida by the Wendy's down there. So we had some arrests and gun recoveries down there. So I'm still doing paperwork on that. So once I'm done, I'll probably be logging off. But anyway, let me go over some things real quick. I'll start off with the crime stats real quick from last year. Basically, the stats look good for last year. Believe it or not, violent crime was down 27%, property crime down 13% for an overall crime down 15%. But right at the end of the year, things are going in the wrong direction, and they're still going in the wrong direction now. So I'll get into that now. So in the past 30 days, we've had 58 crimes, property and violent crimes, which is up from the previous 30 days where there were 39. So it's going in the wrong direction, definitely. Things to point out: assault with dangerous weapons, we've had 3 in the last 30 days. Robberies, we've had 8. Burglaries, 5. Theft from autos, 20. So those are ones that are definitely going in the wrong direction. I'll go over some of these crimes real quick. We had a robbery on December 28th, 1325 Quincy Street Northeast, where a male worker was robbed of his wallet. I think they might have tried to go for the universal mail key, but I don't think they got the universal mail key, but they did get the male worker's wallet. We have an assault with a dangerous weapon, closed by arrest. I'll go into that later, but this is 1509 Irving Street Northeast, a construction site, where the victims actually wrestled a little bit with a suspect and some shots went off. No one was struck, but we did have an arrest later. I'll go into that later with those construction sites, which have been a problem. We had a burglary, 2504 10th Street Northeast. We had another burglary, 3602 18th Street Northeast on January 10th. We had another burglary, January 12th at 1224 Lawrence Street Northeast. We had a robbery gun on January 12th at the Exxon there at 18th and Monroe. Exxon seems to be a target here. It's probably going to be the same individuals that are going around and hitting some other spots too. They got some money from the register there. No one was hurt, thankfully. We had a armed carjacking, which are up all over the city along with all robberies, but they're up here as well in ANC 5B. On the 12th at 3725 12th Street Northeast, a woman was sitting in her Jeep Patriot, white in color, California tags, 7NVU 180. That was stolen. We have a armed carjacking on the 13th of January, 2111 Bunker Hill Road, Northeast. That vehicle has since been recovered in the 4th District, 4300 block of 1st Street Northwest, but that case is still open. On the 17th of January, we had a robbery gun again at that Exxon at 18th and Monroe. Most likely the same individuals there, where money and a cell phone were stolen. On the 17th as well, and we think these are the same guys, the Subway there on 12th Street, 3504 12th Street was robbed. And on the 21st of January, we had an armed carjacking. This was an Uber driver. I'm not sure where he picked his fares up, but there were 3 subjects inside his car. They told him to take them to the library there at 1801 Hamlin Street there, the Woodridge Library. But in the 1700 block of Jackson Street is where one of them held a gun to his head, ordered him out of the car. They tried stealing his Subaru until they found out his Subaru was not a automatic transmission and none could drive a stick shift. So they bailed out and ran westbound on Jackson. So the car wasn't stolen, but they tried to steal it, obviously. We had an assault with a dangerous weapon on January 24th, 1350 Brentwood Road. This is in the Strip, of course, where we were just talking about. There was a shooting. The victim was just a bystander. She was shot in the leg, non-life-threatening wound, thankfully. But there were multiple shell casings discovered in the street of different calibers. So, we have some good photos of the shooters and to look out for a vehicle. So hopefully we can get them ID'd and this thing closed. And those are the crimes. So, going into 1300 block of Brentwood, of course, as we mentioned, the quick trip is open again. And these guys were hanging a little bit more over at 1401 Rhode Island Avenue, the 7-Eleven. Now the quick trip is reopened. And they're hanging more over there. So we haven't been able to link them to anything inside the store, but obviously when that store opens, they are hanging right there. I tell my officers if they can get any link to inside the store, whether it's a stash or whether it's, they see any deal go on inside the store, anything, to let me know and I'll let you guys know for sure. And I'm also getting some stats together to show, when the store was closed, the calls for service went, down drastically. And then of course, when it's open, the calls for service and crimes are significantly increased there. So, and that's evidenced by that shooting. We've had 26 gun seizures so far this year. I think it's the 26th day of the month, so we're averaging about one a year. In fact, I think we just got one tonight, so we're even higher. We had 259 guns last year, so we're on pace to crush that number. But there's tons of guns out there, and I think when these youth or when anyone gets a gun in their hand, they feel emboldened, and then even if it's a 13, 14, 15-year-old kid, they're they feel emboldened to do whatever they're going to do, whether it's rob somebody, carjack somebody, or, be involved in a shooting. There's just too many guns out there, but we are getting them off the street, but there's so many more that we're not getting, obviously. So, we've had 20 arrests in the ANC the last 30 days, some significant ones. On New Year's Eve, we arrested an individual at 1800 block of Otis Street. He was caught in a theft from auto crime up in the 2000 block of Bunker Hill Road. He flashed a pistol at somebody who witnessed him, a civilian. We had officers canvassing. We saw him and the other individual that was with him. They fled on foot. We focused on the guy that looked like he had a gun. He tossed a gun. We got him stopped, and so we charged him with carrying a pistol without a license, destruction of property, and theft from auto. So that was a good arrest there. And that is at 1-8 zone territory, which is 18th and Otis area. And so that was a good arrest. On the 5th of this month, there in that same area, 1907 Otis Street, we had a good possession with intent to distribute PCP up there. On the 12th, we had an unlawful possession of a firearm at 1039 Michigan Avenue. A search warrant was conducted, and there was a handgun, lots of ammunition, a bulletproof vest. There's actually we located what's called a giggle switch, where they can actually modify a semi-automatic handgun where you have to squeeze the trigger each time to make it a fully automatic, like machine gun. So that was a good arrest there. On the 15th, we had a robbery arrest down in Trinidad. It's an individual from Southeast, but he's the one that's been doing lots of these construction site robberies. We've actually closed, I think, 20 construction site robbery cases based on this arrest alone in Trinidad. Some of the ones up in the ANC, I believe these fall in the ANC, 3005 12th Street, 3743 12th Street, 1509 Irving that I mentioned earlier, and 2711 17th. So hopefully those construction site robberies are going to go away or diminish, at least with that arrest. And the last one I'll mention was a felony threats at 1400 Rhode Island Avenue at the 7-Eleven, where an individual with a knife threatened someone else there, and we arrested him. And that is all I have.
I think that was a mouthful. I was over here shuddering in my boots. I'm sure, I don't know who to start with which commissioner. I think I'll just wait. I think I have enough constituents on here that may be able to ask their questions. Commissioners, go ahead, jump at it.
No question from me, Mr. Moore. I've already talked your face off this week, so thank you again for your help and for your help pulling that data together. I think that's going to be really helpful as we illustrate the issue with the nuisance property.
Yeah.
I have maybe a process or a legal question. Is there what, if anything, can the city do to address problem or nuisance properties like this? Like, can businesses actually be shut down, or is there some other kind of enforcement mechanism?
Right. I know, we've been in contact with, RG Weatherington over at the OAG. We really need probably a substantial link, to the business. These, the shootings and, most everything is taking place on the sidewalk or, like in front of the business. Now, you know, we know that that business is some kind of link there to it, but we can't really prove anything, to date, and but as soon as we do, of course, DCRA, I guess OAG would get involved and, be able to declare it a nuisance property. But we really need to get something where something's going on inside there. Now I know that they're selling, it's mostly, marijuana. This, crew's known mostly for marijuana. I know there's other drugs being sold. I know, we do get some overdoses in that area. I'm not sure if they're the ones selling that type of drugs, like heroin, where they might be overdosing, or if it's somebody else that's selling it right in that immediate area. But this crew, basically Saratoga guys coming across the other side of Rhode Island Avenue, they're known for their marijuana. And so that's not really, the city's not going hard on that. The U.S. Attorney's Office is not even really going hard on that at all, and that's hurting the attention that we're getting there from the citywide drug units, which I've asked, so because I'd love to get some attention up there, from the drug units, but they know it's mostly marijuana, and so I'm not getting, the attention I like to get, but that's going all the way up the chain to, the prosecution. And I know on the SMD, D call in the past, I think we've had the Miss Acevedo, U.S. Attorney, on that call, and she's explained how, they're pulling back on marijuana prosecution. So, but yeah, I don't have an easy answer, unfortunately.
All right, that's helpful still. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
No problem.
Captain, if you don't mind, I'd like to bring up the car break-ins over off of Eastern Avenue Northeast, over in the Queens Chapel area. I
Okay.
received a lot of complaints about, I guess they're using a BB gun to shatter the windows to basically as part of their process of breaking in these cars.
Right. Somebody actually went, they did a drive-by basically on, so there's a officer that lives on Eastern there. I think he's from the 6th district. They shot out his police car windows with a BB gun. So you have, some evidence they're doing that and then going in the windows and then breaking, stealing stuff out of the cars.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks for letting me know that. I thought it was a one-time thing with the.
No, sir. They've done it
Okay.
about every night. Matter of fact, they broke one woman's car window. She had it repaired, and they came back and broke it again.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Lots of those theft from auto calls. We don't even get them. They go right to our telephone reporting unit, and it's taken over the phone. So the officers don't even respond to the scene. It's something that we've always done, but it's really been increased with COVID. Lots of these calls are going straight to the telephone reporting unit, TRU. So thanks for letting me know about that, so I can let the officers know. And I'm sure this is going on at nighttime too. They're probably coming through at night. That's when the officers' windows got shot. So, all right.
Yes.
Thanks for letting me know. Okay.
Okay, Captain Moore, we have a question from Jeanette Mobley.
Thank you, Chairwoman Higgins, and good evening to all the commissioners and the residents. Captain Moore, thank you too for being here. I am a longtime resident here in Brooklyn. I don't live that far from 18th and Newton and 18th and Otis. And first of all, I want to thank you for the great police work that you all have been doing in that area, because it used to be really, really bad. It's gotten a lot better. My question is, the chief of police was here in Ward 5 a few weeks ago and met with some of the residents, and we talked about youth and gun violence and so forth. And he was having a youth summit shortly thereafter. And one of the things that we talked about, and my husband in particular, was, what are we doing to teach young kids, 13, 14, 15, and all, to not necessarily use guns, but what are we doing to teach them about conflict resolution, other ways to resolve their beefs? And that was supposed to be talked about at the youth summit. So my question is, do you have any feedback from that? Or do you have any plans or know of any plans that the MPD is going to do that type of training on a wholesale basis? And I know some of the schools are also looking at that.
Yeah, I'm not, privy to, we have a whole new community outreach, like, division, on the department. And I'm not sure what or, anything they have planned, they possibly do, but from the 5th, district, we have a small community outreach here, coming from the 5th, district, and we try to do just positive things so they see the police in a positive light, and they don't always just see us, coming when something bad happens, right? So we'll do different things, whether it's snow cones or giving out books and things like that. We go to the rec centers and do things with the kids. In fact, I know we take some of the kids to Six Flags and things like that when it's open, and bowling. We've done in the past. So we try to do positive things with the kids, but on a larger scale, I don't know, what the Bureau's doing with the community outreach citywide or anything, but or if it's coming from the Department of Education or anything like that. But that is definitely an issue. When these kids, well, actually, I identified some of the kids over in Saratoga the other week for OAG for the the juvenile section there. They want to try to get some resources to these kids before they commit crimes. They're kind of on the fence where they're hanging out with the wrong crowd and everything like that. So I'm not sure what resources OAG can bring them, but they told me to give them some names, and I did give them some names there for that. But right, because Saratoga is such a big area there, where these kids are, we have a big crew influence there with Saratoga, of course, on Brentwood Road, of course, but most of the juveniles are over on Saratoga Avenue, and then we have the Montana Terrace there too. But yeah, I don't know what resources are coming from OAG or maybe Department of Education, but I just can speak for 5D, and we do our community outreach on a regular basis here.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
All right, any other questions? Thank you, Captain Moore. We really appreciate you coming out and giving us that extensive report this evening.
All right, thank you very much. Have a good night.
Take your time. You do the same.
Thank you.
All right, I will now turn this meeting over to our treasurer for for our treasurer's report and our Q1 fiscal year 22 report, as well as our ANC Security Fund. Commissioner King.
Hey, absolutely. Good evening.
Sir.
Good evening again. And let's start with the account information here in the Treasury report. ANC 5B currently has $13,915.94 available. So that's our available balance. We had a district allotment on December the 7th. That was $3,035.94. And we had a partial grant refund on December the, January the 24th. And that was, a deposit was made, and that was $250. That gives us our $13,915.94 total. But that $250 deposit will show up in your next QF, and the documentation show up in your next QFR folder. So that'd be Q2.
Okay, Jax.
Okay.
What's a grant
And
refund? I'm sorry.
Time, baby boy.
yes, yeah, Commissioner. So we were going to have a more extensive conversation about it in Cal because it showed up in Q2. But the short answer is, I'm sure you reviewed your Q1 and you saw the letter that was issued in there that basically said that one of our grantees in the fiscal year of 2021 failed to supply significant documentation. So that was $250 worth of receipts that they failed to submit to support their grant. So therefore, the auditor OANC had to penalize ANC 5B. So we were docked penalized $250 from our allotment, and that's why you see our allotment on December 7th was $3,035 and not the normal $3,200. So then Commissioner Higgins and I conferred, and I met with grantees. You've seen the letter, but I met with the grantees and through a process, they understood what went wrong, and they wanted to stay eligible for grants in the District of Columbia, so they decided that they would repay ANC 5B the $250, and so therefore they can be taken off the ineligible list, and that we will discuss in Cal on Monday, and I will supply the documents in your next folder to show all of that, or supply the documents, and that will reflect everything that just happened. So that's kind of like a short answer, Commissioner Costello, or everything that's happened.
All right. Yeah, thank you. I think that makes sense. The QFR that you sent, was that the email that was on, let me pull it up, sorry. November 9th?
Yeah. You know what, Commissioner? I'm not sure when I sent that was the last QFR. It would have been that would have been your FY22 Q1. Would have been your heading on that one, and
Okay.
that probably came to you in early part of January.
I searched for QFR in my email, and I didn't find anything. The last one I have is from November 17th. I do have one from
Really?
November 9th. Yeah, let me see if I can share my screen and show you what I'm looking. Oh, hang on.
I
don't
did.
know if
Is that true for anybody else?
So I did get
Have you
where
seen your QFRs?
I haven't. I did get a couple of weeks ago where you shared the October meeting minutes. I don't know if there was no note on that, so I didn't know what that was about and just kind of left it alone. But that's the only one I've gotten from you since the November 9th.
Wow.
Wait a minute, the QFR, which one? Which one are you asking for?
FY22. You should get the whole folder. Q1, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Okay, so wait a minute. That is the letter from the office. Okay, so let's look at the next one. These are the release memos. So if you could share your screen, please, that would be great.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Share screen. Let's see. Commissioners. Okay.
We can't hear you, Commissioner. What'd you say?
Hmm. You're breaking up.
Okay.
But he can
Comment.
send that out again, correct?
Yes, could you send that out?
I mean, that's not something we're voting on that requires us to
That
review.
Q1, yeah, we do need to vote
Okay,
on the
well, yeah.
Q1 report.
Okay,
That's
so we
part
have
of the report. Can you call in because we have a very difficult time hearing you through your computer? Okay, we're gonna come back to the approval of the treasurer's report and the Q1 until we're able to hear Commissioner Amin. Is he back on?
I can see him.
Okay, so we're gonna go down to the ANC Security Fund. Did everyone receive the information about the security fund and the purpose of the security fund? And that came from the Office of ANC.
Yes.
Does anybody have any questions about the security fund and why we need it? So we can answer the questions. And what I'll do is I will share my screen with everyone. So those that are on the call. Is everyone able to see?
Yes.
Okay, so the ANCs are required to or asked that they participate in the ANC Security Fund, as well as elect new officers each year. The code also requires that each calendar year, newly elected chairperson treasurers obtain a cash or surety bond or elect to participate in the ANC Security Fund. To participate, we must provide a participation fee of $25 as soon as possible, but no later than February 28th. So, does anybody have any questions in reference to the security fund and or need more information? Commissioners?
No.
No.
Okay. All right, can we place a motion on the floor?
Commissioner Higgins,
Yes.
should we wait until after we elect officers to vote?
You know what? Yes. Yes, let's do that. And as a matter of fact, if you don't mind, we will adjust that and move it underneath the election of officers, as well as adopt the ANC meeting schedule. Does anybody object? Commissioners, do you object to that?
No, I think that makes sense, given that I think the folks who are required to sign the security fund agreement
Yes.
would probably want to know what they're agreeing to before we all vote on
Of
it.
course. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to move the ANC votes and resolutions up, and then we'll proceed with the election of officers, and then we'll do the security fund and adopt the ANC meeting schedule. Are we all in agreement?
Yes. 5-1, yes.
Becerra? I can't hear her. Commissioner Costello?
Yep, that sounds good to me.
Okay, so I did get an affirmative from Commissioner Carley, Commissioner Costello, and myself. Commissioner Amin is not on the line. I don't hear any volume for Commissioner Becerra.
I said I'm fine with that. Can you hear me now?
Oh, okay. All right. So at this time, we'll go ahead and has Commissioner Amin come back on the line? Okay, he's lost total. Okay.
It does look like he
So,
just resent it does look like he just resent the or sent the FY22 Q1 QFR. Just FYI.
Is he coming back on the phone? Via the phone?
Yeah, let me see if he shared. Okay, this is the correct one. Okay, do you guys want to go ahead and review this? But he still needs to be on the line.
I'm calling him now. So have you shared that?
No, I haven't shared it as of yet.
All right, bye. He's trying to log back in.
Okay, so while he's doing that, we'll go ahead and move on with the ANC 5B01 BZA number 20624. Commissioner Carley.
Yes, ma'am. Hopefully I can get this up on the screen. Can you see it?
It's starting, has not populated yet.
Let me know when you guys got it because I can see it on my end.
Okay, there you are.
Okay, thank you. This resolution, I hope you guys had an opportunity to read it, get an understanding of what's going on at 4430 19th Place Northeast. And I'm going to read the resolution, Board of Zoning Adjustment Application number 2624. Whereas the owners, Michael and Amy Drader, applied for special exception to the DC Office of Zoning Adjustment to construct two one-story rear additions to an existing detached one-story with basement at 4430 19th Place Northeast, lot number 0026, square 4186, zoned R1B. Whereas the property's intended use will not change and the applicant's proposed plans to relocate the primary bedroom, add mudroom, landing, and wheelchair lift to the rear of the existing structure does not reduce or eliminate the non-conforming 2 feet side yard. Whereas DCMR 11-206.7 states a building with a non-conforming side yard, an extension or addition may be made to the building provided that the width of the existing side yard shall not reduce or eliminate, and prefer that the width of the side yard adjacent to the extension or addition shall be a minimum of 5 feet. And whereas the proposed two one-story addition, wheelchair lift and landing doesn't violate DCMR 11-223.2 C, the additional accessory structure, together with the original building as viewed from the street, alley, and other public way, shall not substantially visually intrude upon the character, scale, and pattern of houses along the subject street frontage, and therefore be it resolved that Advisory Neighborhood Commission 5B urges the Board of Zoning Adjustment to support Michael and Amy Drader's application request for special exception. It doesn't violate DCMR 11-206.7 and 11-223.2 to construct the proposed two one-story addition with a wheelchair lift and landing in the rear of 4430 19th Place Northeast, lot 0026, square 4186, in ANC 5B01 area, zoned R1B. If there are not any questions or no discussion, I would like to put it on the floor for a vote, asking the commission board to support this resolution.
All right, the motion has been placed on the floor. Is there a second?
A second.
The motion has been placed on the floor and seconded. Call for the vote. ANC 5B's.
Sorry, can you hear me? Sorry, I'm not sure. I just wanted to ask, Commissioner Carley, how did the 200 footers react? I know that we talked in a previous meeting about trying to meet the 75% of 200 footers signing a petition burden. How did they respond to this application?
Yes, I notified my listserv with a mass mailing list. I also printed the application as well as a letter for all the 200 footers listed on as being directly affected by this project, door to door. I hosted a meeting. Those who had questions had an opportunity to ask those questions in the virtual meeting held on the 18th of January, and I did not receive any opposition. And basically, after getting all my questions asked and discussing this further with the Board of Zoning representative to get any other confirmation on some other questions I had no problem with it. The majority did not have any problem with it. And matter of fact, they supported Mr. Drader when he was on the virtual meeting, and not one person, everyone was very satisfied with what they're trying to do and why.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
ANC 5B01.
Yes.
ANC 5B03.
Support.
ANC 5B04.
Yes.
ANC 5B05.
Aye.
All right, the motion has been placed on the floor and seconded and has been moved. It's been approved. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioners.
The next one is ANC 5B02, BZA 20662. Commissioner Carley, if I could share my screen.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry. Well, let me go ahead and start here. This isn't the resolution. This is actually the letter that was taken around to the community in reference to the BZA case on behalf of Miss Brown, Michelle Brown, located at 3617 18th Street Northeast. The relief that she's requesting is special exceptions from the matter of right, the accessory apartment minimum gross floor area, the accessory apartment interest requirements, and she would like to permit an accessory apartment in an attached 2-story with basement principal dwelling in an RB1 zone. We held a meeting on the 20th, and as I noted on the letter that was sent out, because of low turnout, I did go door to door to deliver the letters, and had no negative feedback. Questions were asked in terms of whether or not, because the concern was they thought the applicant was actually trying to build up, but she was actually building out the basement to for her parents, her elder parents. So I would like to place a motion on the floor to for BZA application 20662, an approval of an accessory apartment.
Second.
The motion has been seconded. Is there discussion? Call for the vote. ANC 5B01.
Yes, support.
ANC 5B03.
Support. Support.
ANC 5B04.
Support.
ANC 5B05.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, that motion has been moved and approved with the ayes. All right, so at this time, I will be turning the meeting over to Commissioner Anthony Hood, who is going to conduct our election of officers. Commissioner Hood, you have the floor, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Chairperson Higgins, and let me say good evening to everyone and good evening, commissioners. I really appreciate all the work. I'm sure the residents and all of us appreciate all the work our commissioners always do because you all are our frontline representatives, and we appreciate your volunteer efforts and the work that you all do. So what I would like to do, I took the time to try to read over your election procedures. And what we're going to do, unless I hear any objection, I'm going to declare all offices vacant. We're going to have nominations from the floor. Each nomination will have to be seconded. If we have one name, we're going to continue. If we have two names, we will do the election at that time. And that's per your guidance and your constitution and bylaws under Article 4. Any objections in moving in that fashion, commissioners?
No.
Okay, thank you. All right, so all offices are now vacant. ANC 5B is getting ready to have their office election. Any nominations for chair?
Yes. I would like to nominate Gayle Carley.
Okay, Commissioner Carley.
And I would like to second that nomination.
Okay, it's been moved in second. We'll leave it at that. Any other nominations for chair? Any other nominations for chair? Not hearing it, let's move to, we will close the above said nomination on the one name, and that's Commissioner Carley. Let's move to vice chair. Any nominations for vice chair?
I would like to nominate Commissioner Higgins.
Sorry, let me acknowledge Commissioner Carley. I think it was Commissioner Carley that was speaking.
Yes, I would like to nominate Commissioner Higgins.
Commissioner Higgins. Any other nominations? Oh, can I get a second?
I will second that. Commissioner Means seconds Commissioner
Higgins,
Vice Chair nomination.
Okay, any other nominations for vice chair? Okay, that's not hearing any, we will continue. Any nominations for secretary?
Yes, I nominate Commissioner Costello.
Commissioner Costello.
I appreciate that. Point of order, though, we have two different secretary roles enumerated in our bylaws. We have a recording secretary and a correspondence secretary. This is in Article 4 of our bylaws. So we might need to parse those out a little bit.
I think the recording secretary would be something we need right now.
And also previously, the positions could be combined, or you could use one.
So let me just say this. I may have called it wrong. I just said secretary. It's normally recording secretary.
Exactly.
Normally I say recording secretary, but I'm moving through this. I just said secretary. So I think that's a moot point unless I hear from other commissioners. It's just recording secretary.
Exactly.
In that case, thank you for clarifying. I appreciate your confidence and the nomination, but I don't think that's a position I have the bandwidth for. I know how much work Commissioner Piquera has put into that role, and I don't think that I have quite the same level of time commitment as she has had. And I do thank her for all of her work. She's done a great job. So thank you anyway.
Thank you.
Any other nominations for recording secretary? Any nominations for recording secretary?
And then I would like to nominate Commissioner Piquera for recording secretary. If she's interested.
Okay.
For the nomination, I I think given the tumultuous last meeting and the motion to remove me from my position, I don't know that I have the faith of all of my colleagues in my secretary position. So I politely decline.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Let me ask one more time, and if not, I'm gonna move on because I got to go back. There is a statute that talks about the office is vacant. I just need to refresh my memory. Any nominations for recording secretary? Okay, so we will stay the recording secretary for the moment. Let's go to treasurer. Any nominations for treasurer?
I nominate Commissioner Amin.
Commissioner Amin.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved in second. Any other nominations for treasurer? Okay, so give me a moment, unless one of the commissioners can help me. I know there's a statute that talks about if an office is vacant. Oh, I know what it is. In case of vacancies among officers, the executive committee shall appoint interim officers among commissioner persons. So that's not in my bailiwick. I'm going to continue to move. Okay, so we have Chair Commissioner Carley, Vice Chair Commissioner Higgins. We do not have a recording secretary yet. That will be left to the executive board. And we have Treasurer Commissioner Amin. So since
Sorry to interrupt.
Sure.
Commissioner, I think we still have the role of parliamentarian that we need to fill.
Okay, I didn't know what all the offices were. Parliamentarian.
Sorry.
No
No,
problem.
you're doing a great job, Commissioner Hood. That was not critical of you at all.
Oh, look, this is my fifth election. I did 2 already tonight. So if it was bad, I'm sure they wouldn't have me back.
You're doing a great job. Every commission's different. We all have our.
Exactly. Okay, so parliamentarian, I think that's good. This is the first one that had the parliamentarian, but anyway, I guess the other one.
I have a question
Yes.
in reference to that. Is a parliamentary necessary even though it is in our bylaws? I think Commissioner Costello presented that before when we were talking in our COW.
Yeah, so it does say that the parliamentarian should be elected from among the commission members. It doesn't say it's not necessary. I'll just say if I can offer my own view on this. I think it's helpful for the chair to have someone to ask procedural questions of what, during meetings when issues come up. And so I think it could be valuable. I know that Commissioner Higgins, when you've been chairing meetings in the past, there's a lot to manage at the controls, so to speak. In addition, just doing the virtual meeting, also trying to manage the flow of the meeting. And so I think it's beneficial to you and to everybody here to have someone who can advise on what the rules are to make sure that we're operating as efficiently as possible.
Of course.
And there's something in the chat too. I'm not sure.
I saw that in the chat, and I think I covered that. That's in your constitutional bylaws. I would direct the person to read the constitutional bylaws. I think that's sufficient. But let's get through this parliamentarian. I mean, it's not, none of this is a big issue. So let's have any nominations from the floor for parliamentarian.
Yes, I nominate Commissioner Costello for parliamentarian.
I second.
Okay, Mr. Costello.
Thank you both. Thank you. It's very kind of you.
Okay, any other nominations for parliamentarian? Not hearing any. So now let me proceed, and we can go back and I think we can go back and deal with the recording secretary. I think the executive board is going to have to do it according to the way I read section 9 of your constitutional bylaws. Okay, so what I would like to do in this case, since we only have one name per office, there's no need to have an election. We can do a motion by acclamation. I would like for somebody to make a motion, one of the commissioners to make a motion by acclamation that we approve these said names, and the said names are Chair, Commissioner Carley, Vice Chair, Commissioner Higgins, Treasurer, Commissioner Amin, and Parliamentarian, Commissioner Costello. We get a motion from the floor.
Place a motion on the floor
Yes.
to approve or to nominate those listed executive offices.
I second.
And let me throw in there, if you don't mind, I can't make a friendly amendment, but by acclamation, Commissioner. Okay, so it's been moved and probably second. Any further discussion? Not hearing all those in support, say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. 504.
Okay, so can we record that as unanimous? Any opposition? So ordered. Your chairperson now is Commissioner Carley. Your vice chair is Commissioner Higgins. Your treasurer is Commissioner Mean, and your parliamentarian is Commissioner Costello. So, Commissioner Carley, did you want me to swear everyone in as well?
That would be wonderful.
Okay. I just so happen to have it. Let me open it back up. And I told ANC 5A a few minutes ago, and I told the other ANCs, some of the ANCs in Ward 5, this is the longest oath that I've seen. So bear with me as we plow through this. Okay, I'm going to start off. I'm going to ask all the officers to raise your hand. I'm going to start off with I, and then you say your name. I,
Ursula
Gayle Carley.
Higgins.
Colleen Costello.
having been duly elected
Rodney.
Having been duly elected
Having duly elected
as, and state your position,
as
as
vice
chair
chair
5B
Parliamentarian
of the ANC 5B
of ANC.
ANC 5B
of the District of Columbia,
of the District of Columbia,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear
and affirm
that
I state your name,
that I,
Gayle Carley,
I
will support, defend the Constitution of the United States
will support and defend the Constitution of the United States,
the ANC Act,
the ANC Act,
the Constitution and bylaws of ANC 5B,
the Constitution and bylaws of ANC 5B,
Constitution and bylaws of
that I will perform such duties
and I will perform such duties
as may be assigned to me
as
that
may be assigned to me
as a member of ANC 5B,
as a member of ANC 5B,
to the best of my ability, without fear or favor.
my ability,
my ability,
Without fear or favor.
without fear or favor,
That I will exercise my best judgment
that I will
exercise my best judgment
and will consider each matter before me
and will consider
each matter before me
from the viewpoint of the best interest
and
point of the best interest
of the District of Columbia and ANC 5B as a whole.
Of the
the
District
District
of
of
Columbia.
Columbia and ANC 5B as a whole.
One more line. And that I will faithfully discharge said duties.
and I will faithfully
Faithfully
discharge
discharge
said duties.
Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations. Consider yourself sworn in and continue to do the great work that you're doing. From the time I've seen here, you all are working real hard. Continue to do the good work cohesively that I see you doing. So thank you. But I will say this
Thank you.
to the executive board, Chairperson Collins, it says in section 9, in case of vacancies among officers, the executive committee shall appoint interim officers among commission persons. And I will turn it over to you, Chairperson Collins.
Thank you very much. Thank you to my colleagues as well. So we are running a little bit over, so we're going to pick up with the approval of the Q1 F222 report. Let me rephrase it. I'm sorry. We're going to do the ANC Security Fund first.
Commissioner?
Yes.
Sorry, I don't know if you can hear me. Would it be okay if I nominated Commissioner Piquera if she's willing to be correspondence secretary, so we at least have someone to send out meeting notices?
You can nominate her.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Piquera, would you be willing to be correspondence secretary?
Sure.
Okay.
Pretty good with getting notices out.
Fair enough. Is there a second?
Commissioner Piquera has been nominated for the position of, what was it, recording?
Correspondence secretary?
Correspondence secretary. Commissioner Costello placed a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
I don't know if I'm allowed to second. Oh, never mind.
You can't second. It's been seconded.
Okay, the motion has been second. Let's call for a vote. Roll call, 5B02,
Aye.
5B03,
Aye.
5B04,
No.
5B05.
Aye.
Okay, the ayes have it. You are now the correspondence secretary.
For clarification, so what does that exactly consist of?
Oh, sorry.
Basically, according to the bylaws, I believe Commissioner Procura will be responsible for reporting, posting messages, meetings, things of that sort that we have all as a commission agreed we want posted.
Yeah, the bylaws say the correspondence secretary shall issue notices of meetings and conduct the general correspondence of the commission.
Well, what does that mean, conduct the general correspondence of the office? I just want us to be clear,
Yeah,
so we're not expecting one thing and it's not.
Mhm. Commissioner Costello, do you have?
all right, I don't know, our bylaws don't specify. I'm happy to brainstorm with you all. I don't think
I
that,
think that's something that we need to talk about specifically, so
Sure.
if we have a certain expectation that expectation is being met, or we shouldn't have that expectation.
Is it possible that
So
we
can
can
talk
come
about
up with
it in our
something
COW.
and discuss it further in our COW meeting?
Yes,
Okay, all right, so we will discuss what the boundaries are with the recording, correspondence, I'm sorry, correspondence secretary.
thank you.
So we will move on to the security funds. Did we,
Yes.
okay, so we had a motion on the floor. Did we have a second for the security funds? Was there a motion ever put on the floor for the security funds?
No, we started, but we stopped until the officers were elected.
Okay, so we have the ANC security funds. You guys should have had an opportunity to read what that basically detail is. I will welcome that motion if anybody want to place it on the floor.
Yes, I'd like to
So-
place a motion on the floor to pay the ANC Security Fund of $25 to the DC Auditor's Office.
Commissioner Higgins has placed a motion on the floor for the security funds. Is there a second?
second,
Okay, we have a second. Let's do a roll call for the security funds, 5B02,
Yes,
5B03.
Aye.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Aye.
Okay, 5B03. I'm sorry, 5B04.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. 5B05.
aye.
Okay, the motion has passed. Let's move on. So we will be paying the security funds. So, as required by the Office of ANC. Now we will move on to approval of the Q1 F2 22 report. I will turn it back over to, Commissioner Amin.
Chair Carley, I think Commissioner Higgins had a question before I take the mic.
no,
I-
no, that's okay. I
so
see
you're-
it. She went
ahead.
back. She went back.
Okay.
Okay,
Commissioner
Commissioners,
Amin.
I thank you, Commissioner. I apologize. I sent that photo. I should have known when I didn't hear anything back from you folks for a whole month. And something was it was strangely quiet here in 5B. So have you checked your inbox? Have you received that link? I just sent it out again. Because if you haven't got it, something going strange wrong here.
I've received
You
it.
see it?
Yeah, I
Yes.
received it. Thank you.
Okay, commissioners, I do realize that you have not reviewed this whole folder. So I will defer to the commission and ask, do you need more time to look at this folder? It's pretty simple in my opinion, but I want to allot you that time if if this is your first time seeing those documents, but I do want to put out to the commission and to the community that we are on a deadline, but that's no reason for us not to review thoroughly for our constituents.
5B02, do you have a response?
I'm sorry, I've seen them and I was able to review them. So
Okay.
I'm good with it because I've seen all of the documents because most of them I've signed. Or in the-
5B03?
This is my first time seeing them, and then this is also my first time kind of reviewing a grant return piece. So I would love, if possible, just a little bit of extra time to review these documents.
Is your only problem with the grant return?
Well, I just got it, so I actually haven't had a chance to open any of the attachments yet. I just see that there's 22 of them, but I haven't had a chance to click into anything yet.
Okay, 5B04. 5B05.
No, 5B04 thinks that we're in the position to vote on it. I could say our books are reconciled. We have an A1 rating right now, so I feel like we can move forward.
I wonder,
Okay.
maybe it would be helpful if we can screen share the files, Commissioner Amin, and then you can tell us which ones we should be looking at and just explain if there's anything, noteworthy, I guess. Would that work? And I can share my screen if that's easier.
So
Yeah, I think once
Commissioner,
I try to share, I guess connect it might be too much.
Okay, hold on 1 minute. Right. Oh, you know what? Sorry. It says I have
It's
to
not
restart.
opening?
Well, it says I have to restart WebEx in order to do screen share. I don't know if anyone else has.
Oh,
the
wow.
documents.
I have a question, because most of the documents, can everyone go to that folder with the documents in it?
Yep.
And then basically, and I'll screen share this with the community so they can see what it is that I'm talking about.
okay,
All the
so
documents that are in here, this is our community meeting. These are the minutes. So if you could describe what the documents are, Commissioner, okay, this is our bank account, which I won't keep up.
so basically the documents that are in this folder is supporting
They're
the
all-
Q4 report, correct?
That is correct, and all of the checks that were written.
Okay.
So the release memos are basically the auditor's information. So here's the quarterly report. Can you see that? Is that showing on everybody's screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so.
Right. So let me say this. I don't know whether you can make that larger, but what you want to look at here, community and commissioners, is that you see where we're at here, that at the top, that 2000, I think that's 2000, let me see, I have it right here. I have hard copies of it.
$343.33.
Right, that's where we started this quarter.
So that's
And
a balance.
that's right. So that's the most important thing. It's like we ended up there, and you want to start where you ended. So, Commissioner Carl, you remember you and I worked on this, and we kept going through this number over and over again when we were working on that folder.
Yes.
And Chair Carley, and so you can see we started where we stopped the last quarter. But also, what you also remember is that our budget started here too. So when we were like going over the budget in November, this was the starting figure that we were starting with. So that right there, that's our first positive that we are looking good. So and our transactions are pretty simple. They've been pretty simple this month. We've had we paid the same things we always pay. So if you look down into direct office cost here, you would see that we would have had our CI bill and our rent. That would be your $14,000 total that you see right there. And then you see communications. That would be our phone bill, our Sprint bill, and those are for the entire quarter. So that quarter would be Q1. That would be October, November, and December. And if you see that, you see those were the only disbursements that we had in the quarter.
So they're the recurring disbursement that we've had for the last 4 quarters. And basically we brought the balance forward from, and we already voted on that from the previous quarter. So you brought that forward and nothing has changed. And we still have the same checks written for the phones, for office supplies, communication, and we also have displayed the direct allotment. Are there any questions? 5B02.
No question.
5B03.
Nope, that explanation was helpful. Thank you.
5B05.
Yeah, I just want to clarify one thing. So, Commissioner Amin, I did see that there was a letter, I think from OANC or someone about the grant money getting deducted from our funds. You said, I think, that the group that had received the grant would be refunding us the $250, right?
It was refunded, correct,
That is
Commissioner
correct.
Amin?
Yes, Chair Carley, that is correct. That was in your first Treasury report, you remember I reported a deposit on January it was deposited on the 22nd. Our account was accredited on the 24th. We received full credit for it, and that was for $250.
Okay, and it was credited back by the group that had originally received the grant, right? Metropolis Group?
Yeah, absolutely. And the documentation wouldn't show up in this folder, Commissioner Costello, only because it was done in the Q2, because January starts at Q2. So you will see all the supporting documents, but the first part of the documents you see in Q1, because if you would notice the letter from the finance office and the letter that was issued to them had to show up in Q1.
Okay, understood. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Great question.
Okay, I'm going to turn it back over to you, Commissioner Amin, so that we can entertain, hopefully, the vote.
Commissioners, I move as treasurer that ANC 5B accept and approve FY22 Q1 QFR.
I second.
Okay, the motion has been put on the floor by Commissioner Amin. It has been seconded by Commissioner Higgins. And we've had our discussion. I'm ready for the vote. Commissioner 5B02.
Aye.
5B03.
Aye.
5B04.
Oh, me, yes.
5B05.
Aye.
Okay. The motion is.
Madam Chair, can I make a statement?
Yes.
I just wanted to commend Commissioner Amin on all the hard work he's done with our finances. He has truly done a yeoman's job. And I know trying to defend, answer questions, and explain the process was arduous at times. But I just really, really, really want to say how much I really appreciate all of your hard work. And I really commend you. And I just have to give you a big hand clap because I really, really appreciate everything and having our finances on point. So thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair, for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you. And thank you, Commissioner. I mean, it is not easy, trust. Anyone who has ever held the position as treasurer know it is a difficult one, especially when you have multiple people asking you multiple questions about what you're doing. So great. Thank you, Commissioner Higgins. Thank you, Commissioner Amin.
Yeah,
So-
to make Commissioner Carley, if I may say something as well, I want to say it's been arduous, but it's been an honor to serve as your treasurer at ANC 5B because it challenged me in ways that that I had been challenged in a very long time. I also want to say that I don't think that Commissioner Higgins give herself enough credit because she was right in there with me, whether it was trying to find documents or whether it was just taking my odd phone calls at odd hours and talking about this stuff over and over again. And to the community, the relationship between, and also Commissioner Carley. I know Commissioner Carley, you might laugh this off, but I don't know that evening that you and we stayed on the phone for 4 hours with this stuff. You remember that?
Yes, I do.
4 hours going over everything, and 4 hours straight. And so, and then I have to shout out to Commissioner Pacara and Commissioner Costello for pushing the envelope each time and making me like show up 100%. So thank you all. I'm honored to continue, and I don't think the community the relationship has to happen between officers and especially the chair and the treasurer. And Commissioner Carley, I will have to honestly say I've served with you for 3 years now, and this is going into my 4th, and I am honored to serve as treasurer to your chairperson. Thank you.
Thank you, and I would really like to give a thank you to Commissioner Higgins, who's been a role model for how many years now, Commissioner? Well, I know we've been on here the longest, you and I. So thank you for all your hard work, and it definitely has helped the commission, better the commission. So I know you don't get enough credit for it, and you take a lot of heat. Not just from the commissioners, but also from the community. And a lot of people don't know how hard it is to put yourself out there like that because you're under a magnifying glass. So thank you for all you've done.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right, so we're going to move on to the, thank you, Commissioner Pacara and Costello as well. And I know you guys, this is the end of your first year being on the commission, and you guys have definitely challenged us. So I just want to say we appreciate you, and I'm sure your community do as well. So let's move on to adopt ANC meeting schedule for 2022. Commissioner Higgins was kind enough to create this for us. So if you have a copy of it, Commissioner, I would really appreciate you share it so everyone will see you at work.
You're muted, Commissioner Higgins.
That'll help.
There you
I
go.
believe that Commissioner Costello, and I think I made the change on this document, but I did not, but I think I shared, did I share the new dates, the new meeting dates? I did
Let me
not.
see if I can. I'm pretty sure you did. Let me see if I can.
I thought I sent out a new meeting agenda. The December date should be December 14th.
Yes. Let me see.
Instead of December 21st. I sent that out, but this is the copy I had readily available.
Yeah, I have it. Do you want
I
me to
think I'm
forward
looking
you
at
the correct-
December 7th.
Is the committee of the whole, and the full meeting is on December the 14th, because that's the week of Christmas.
Okay, so we're gonna keep that change in mind, that it should be December the 14th, 2022.
Yeah. Commissioner Higgins, I just sent you the revised document in your inbox, so you should have
Oh,
that.
I did send it to
Yes, you did.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Let me set that out. I'm gonna put that on the screen for you guys. Are you able to see it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you,
Yep.
Commissioner Costello. Okay. All right, Commissioner Carley, you can. I'm sorry.
Okay, so all the dates everyone had an opportunity to review, and they December the 7th, 2022 is what I'm looking at.
Yep.
Should it be December the 14th?
It's the cow is correct, December 7th. The full community meeting, December 14th, is also now correct.
Okay, great, got it. All right, so Commissioner Higgins, this is your document. I will hand the meeting over to you. Would you like to put a motion on the floor? I can't hear you.
Oops, sorry.
I don't want to be heard, do I? Okay, I would like to place a motion on the floor to accept, to adopt the ANC meeting schedule for, 2022.
Seconded.
Okay, motion been put on the floor, placed on the floor, and second, let's do a roll. Do we have a discussion, or are we finished with the discussion? Okay, 5B02,
Aye.
5B03, 5B04,
Support.
5B04,
Aye. Did you see? Can you hear me? Aye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
now 5B05.
Aye.
Okay, the motion is passed. This will be our COW and our full body meetings for 2022. All right, we're moving on to single member district reports. 5B02.
I believe Captain Moore did most of my report. Most of my report was dealing with the public safety piece. Myself, as well as ANC 5B03 border, and a lot of our residents utilize that Exxon gas station that's located right there on the corner. And of course, that was a horrible situation with that. And in terms of robberies, again, the Subway sandwich shop at 12th and Monroe had been robbed again. This is like the fourth incident at that particular location. Also, I would like to discuss, but did not place this on the floor, the location of I have a notice of intent for unenclosed outdoor cafe in front of the old oh God, I can't even remember what the name of it was, next to Long and Foster, across the street from the Brookland Grill. I had sent out notices to the community in reference to the unenclosed cafe, but to date, I have not gotten any feedback in terms of that location. So I will not be able to properly give written comments because I haven't received any. So that is the end of my report. And of course, I will be following back up next month for Ms. Malaguera for her BZA application. We are currently waiting on one piece of important information, so we'll be able to come back before the full body commission where we can get a unanimous vote. And that concludes my report out. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Higgins. 5B03.
Everyone. So following up on what you all heard from Mr. Grant from the commissioner's office or the council member's office, as well as Captain Moore, a lot of focus on the increased violence at the Brentwood Strip. So I am hosting a ANC 5B03 single member district meeting on Monday at gosh, I think it's 7 p.m. I will post the information's on my website. I will post that in the chat. Right now on my agenda is to obviously discuss the increase in violence on that strip. We are moving to see if that store can be closed, as well as the DDOT resolutions to perhaps close that slip lane, as well as I think there was a conversation about holding the property owner as well as the store owner personally liable. So we're moving on a bunch of different fronts. I know this is a concern to a lot of people, myself included. So if you would like to join, please join that meeting on Monday. I also have on the agenda, I've got two NOIs for traffic safety. One is for an always stop on 13th and Hamlin, I believe. And then the other one is for the intersection of Franklin and Rhode Island. That one is asking that they no longer allow right turns on red. I am, just for full disclosure, inclined to support both of those, especially the Franklin, Rhode Island no right turn on red. I've seen pedestrians have many a near miss crossing over that intersection. So that is where I am. However, if there are any community members that have concerns, don't agree with that, think that there is a perspective of that I am missing, I definitely want to hear from you. So please feel free to reach out and or join my meeting on Monday. But that's it for 5B03.
I'm gonna go back to Commissioner Higgins. Commissioner Higgins, I know that's a 3500 block of 12th Street that you was referring to. And is that the the Brookland Grill?
Oh, no, it's across the street from Brooklyn Grill.
Oh, and it's next
I can't remember
to
what the name of it is right now off the top of my head.
Rooftop Patio, Restaurant and Bar.
Yes, thank you.
The cleaners. Okay, I just wanted to know. So that's a 3500 block.
Yeah, it's a 3500 block. Thank you.
Okay. All right. 5B04.
And 5B04, and so as Commissioner McCare said, that there is on our order that is a four-way stop. Thank you, community. You have worked very hard on both sides of the street, and we acknowledge that. I am so the community members that took leadership over here in 5B04, so many, but Catherine and Bridget and David, you know, they've got four-way stop up there, and speed humps that are coming all scheduled, scheduled. But this work started way before them. It started with residents who've been living on that block for 40 years, and you know, advocating. Commissioners way before me, all the commissioners before me have been advocating for something to be done along 13th Street. So, you know, I want to acknowledge that. And also, notice of intent has been issued for 13th and Kearney as well for that four-way stop. And I have to, I think, Paul and Claire who initiate that. And so hopefully 13th Street's going to be different for you in the, you know, that's also our shared board of Commissioner Becerra. So that's going to be different for you. And I mean, you folks did that. And I really appreciate community involvement and, you know, everyone stepping up and taking leadership. I know the folks along 9th Street have been, think that I've been ignoring them over here. 9th Street between Girard and Monroe Street, we have a lot of work to do there. I have a walkthrough next week scheduled with Kelly Chong Olson and Delando Baker from DDOT. I promise you that I was going to start on 9th Street right after this meeting again. So I don't have the date for that, but if anybody's still on this listening, they can reach out to me, and it's going to be in the middle of the day. So if you're available and you want to come out and do that walkthrough with us about 9th Street, please, you know, let me know. But also, you know, the enthusiasm I see that's going around now about our Franklin Street and the Reed Street. I want that. I want to see that continue, because we have things that we need to do. And one of the things that we've been working on, is it started before me, and we want to go back to that this year. We want that sidewalk along the street, and we want to bridge across the tracks on that north side of Franklin. That's going to help us out a lot. It's going to help keep our community safe, our children safe. So all of you people that have signed on letters and are rallying up now. I see that same support now out there when we say like, hey, we want to lean in on DDOT and say, hey, let's get that pedestrian bridge that you've been thinking about a study on for a while. Let's get that across the tracks to connect our community over there on the other side and keep us safe over here. And that's it for now. And I will be checking in with you a little later about SD meetings and some other great things going on.
Thank you, Commissioner Amin. 5B05.
Yep. I had a DC school lottery training recently, and I just put a link in the chat in case anybody missed it. February 1st is the deadline for students to enter the lottery for grades 9 through 12, and for younger grades, the deadline is March 1st. So take a look at the training if you haven't done the lottery for your kids yet, and you need some advice or guidance. I also have contact information listed on that link. I had an SMD meeting recently on a BZA case involving 824 Taylor Street Northeast. It's on the north side of Taylor and is located in ANC 5A03, so not our ANC area. But because it's across the street from my single member district, we had a meeting so residents could learn more about the project. It looks like this project is going to undergo possibly some revisions. So I didn't bring anything up for a vote at our meeting tonight because nothing is final. And it also sounds like there's a similar project that's going to be coming up for consideration in a couple of months at BZA right next to this project. So 824 and 828 Taylor Street are both going to be undergoing similar changes. So we'll have another meeting on that probably in February. And then lastly, I had a meeting recently about Shining Stars Montessori and the use of the alley behind the school. I think Commissioner Higgins did as well. We've gotten a lot of feedback about the issue and recently met with DDOT, the school, and residents. It was very well attended. We had a lot of really great ideas, and hopefully everybody will work together to find a solution that makes everyone happy. We don't have any final decisions right now, but I'm hoping by the end of February we can have something more definitive. So that is also coming up. So that's all I've got for now. Thank you so much.
I have a question about the visa you were referring to at 824 and 828. You said it was in someone else's area, 824?
Yeah, it's 5A03, but I was connected with the developer so they could introduce it to my constituents as well, since they're technically 200 footers. They're right across the street.
Can you expand on what it is?
Sure. And actually, I'll put a link in the chat as well to the project. I don't have details about 828 Taylor Street because at the time I had my meeting, I don't think they had submitted an application with BZA. But this is the link for 824. And so right now it's a multi-unit building. They want to add some additional units to it in the back, and then they want to put one unit, one floor up, but set back from the street. They technically can do that, but under the zoning regulations, a multi-unit building in the RA1 zoning district has to get approval for a special exception from BZA before it can continue. So there won't be any changes to things like the rear yard setback or side yard setback. There won't be any, special exceptions for things like parking or anything like that. It's just simply the fact that it's already a multi-unit building and they want to add more units to it, and it happens to be located in an RA1. So per the
They're building back.
I'm sorry.
They're building extension.
A little bit, yeah. There's a small extension, it looks like, off the back.
Okay.
And they're also putting a unit on top, but it'll be set back from the street, so it won't be part of the facade of the front of the building.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Sure.
I do not have anything to add other than the visas that I presented earlier, and I had a meeting last week, so I was able to get out all the information I needed to get out. We're running short on time, so we're going to take go to community concerns, and take at least 4 questions or concerns from the chat group. Is anyone monitoring that chat group?
I have it up. I haven't seen any questions or concerns come up, I don't think, although if I missed anything, folks, please.
I haven't seen anything either.
Yeah, I went through there as well and I didn't see anything.
Well,
Okay.
while we give the community an opportunity, Commissioner, Chair, if I might, just to be clear, because I know that we are legally required to have a recording secretary. I'm not exactly sure how that works. Can I nominate someone? Is it up to us to assign someone? I just want to make sure that we have, the minutes are important, and especially for Commissioner Amin, who has to submit all the paperwork. I know he definitely wants the minutes. Chair or parliamentarian, what is the best way to handle that?
Basically, I was going to draw straws to see who was going to actually do the minutes, but I didn't. Basically, I was just going to get the minutes done, just so we'll have them for the Q1 and the treasury report in there, as we are by law to be able to get into the OANC, so that we can make sure that there's no interruption in the flow of our money allotments, or there's a halt on it. Because remember, right now we did just vote on that, so we got to hurry up and get the funds done and that's it to them, because we can't write any reports or any checks or anything at this moment.
So if I might, I believe, I could be totally wrong. I believe the treasurer cannot be secretary, but I think that's the only conflict.
Right.
If I might, can I nominate Commissioner Higgins to be, like, you did a great job with the minutes you created earlier this year. They were very succinct and to the point, and I think you as the longest serving.
I will assist. I already told her I will assist until the executive body designates a person.
Oh, can I nominate you as that person? You've done such a, especially as like one of the longest standing members of this.
Commissioner McCara, I know you heard me. I will assist until we revisit it, and but I will assist Commissioner Carley in ensuring that what she needs, she gets.
Yeah, because I think in our last discussion, we talked about expanding on the secretary duties to also kind of monitor the chat room as well, so we can focus on actually our day-to-day business when we meet. Okay.
Chair.
All right, so we don't have any concerns from anyone in the chat group. I didn't see any, no one else.
Yeah, there was a new question in the chat. A question about traffic safety efforts, including traffic calming around schools and parks, and also whether anyone has been in touch with McDuffie's office on traffic safety, aside from just individual projects. Lauren, I'm not sure if you mean like general traffic safety. What I can say is that there were 2 big major pieces of legislation introduced in the council in December. One was a bill that would improve traffic calming around schools. It would basically require DDOT to come up with standardized designs for traffic calming on streets around schools, and it would also expand the size of school zones, I think by an extra 50 feet or 50 meters, I forget which. The other bill was called the Walk Without Worry Act, and that would also require DDOT to come up with traffic calming design standards and to apply those on a variety of different types of roadways anytime the city is embarking on a new repaving project or major construction, road construction project. So both of the bills had support, I think from if not every council member, then maybe almost every single council member, including Councilmember McDuffie. as for I think you're talking about the resolution that we passed back in September. I haven't gotten service request numbers, I don't think, from DDOT. I have to go back and check my email though. But I can look into that. I'll put my email in the chat. So if you want to touch base with me, I can give you a firmer answer once I find out from DDOT what the status is. And as for resolutions in support of the bills, there was an ANC letter that went around that some commissioners signed. It wasn't widely circulated though. I'd be happy to introduce a resolution in our ANC in support of those two bills that I mentioned. And I can talk with my colleagues about it.
Are you referring to the calming around schools?
Yeah, she was asking about the two bills that were introduced in the council. She said, how many other ANCs are considering resolutions in support of these bills, which may get hearings in March or April. So we can talk at our February COW, our planning meeting, about whether we'd all be in support of a resolution on those two bills. I would be, but we can check in with everybody else.
Did everyone have an opportunity or did you receive an email with the bills in it, or have anyone other than Commissioner Costello seem to know about the two bills?
I did, and I signed on to this the latter of them.
Oh, are you not traffic and safety committee, Commissioner Figueroa?
Our commissioner or general?
No, you in general.
Oh, I'm part of the Vision Zero committee.
Oh,
okay. So would that also be part of
Vision Zero caucus? Sorry, I should say, not committee, caucus.
Okay, caucus. Okay. All right. So, do you have those bills, Commissioner Costello?
Yeah, I can provide links to them. They were also pretty widely covered in the news.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you would send that out, that would be wonderful.
Who do you want me to send it to? I have my email list.
To all the commissioners.
Just to you guys, sure.
Okay, thank you. Is that it for questions and concerns?
Mr. Morgan said he had a concern too, but he need
What
to.
is it?
Yeah, Mr. Morgan.
Is Mr. Morgan on the line?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
You hear me now? Hello.
If you could speak up just a little bit.
How's that?
That's it.
That's it? Yeah. I have a concern. On 5B agenda on November 2021, I tried to get the 5B agenda from ANC 5B05 Commission and online, and a pop-up show up on my screen for me to read, and down on the bottom left, the word agree was there. I refused to select agree to the document in order for me to get the 5B agenda for November 2021. I feel very uncomfortable about that, and I removed my name from the email list because this is unacceptable. And I look at this as a blackmail. In order for me to get 5B agenda from 5B05, I need to select agree to a document. No way.
Mr. Morgan, honestly, that's the first time I've ever heard of a constituent receiving or a resident receiving the 5B agenda that requires you to, make any confirmation that you received it or that you agree to read it, or whatever the case may have been. Do you know anything about that, Commissioner Costello?
No, I didn't even send out the agenda in my email, so I'm not sure what that was about. It is on my website, but there's nothing requiring anybody to agree to anything. It's possible you clicked on a different link for something else, and maybe it was a PDF or something that was available for download. You don't have to download anything. The agenda, I just put the link in the chat, but the agenda is posted in that link and you can see it visibly without downloading anything. So I'm not sure what happened. I would like to encourage you to subscribe to my email list again. That is very strange that you had that experience, but there are no gimmicks. I don't do anything with your information, I promise you. All I do is send you information about what we're doing here.
So I actually, sorry, if I might chime in, as the resident tech nerd here, I think I can answer what probably happened. So fairly recently, the last couple of years, there's a law that's been enacted for GDPR. Anytime you go to a website for the first time, you are required to hit a button that says you accept the cookies from whatever host. So Squarespace, Google, wherever that is, GDPR and others require that you just consent that you are allowing cookies to be on your browser. You obviously can go back through, delete those or whatever, but that is a standard for any website that you visit for the first time. It'll have you hit accept. So my guess is that is what it was probably asking you. If you decline that, you're obviously welcome to, and it'll come up with a page saying all the disclaimer language, but it is not actually a downloadable file. It is just telling you that it will track cookies. So if you've been there before, it'll save your login information or save which pages you looked at. It's generally to be helpful, but it's certainly not a requirement to access any of the information.
Mr. Morgan, can you
I'm sorry.
Have you received the 5B agenda prior to this month?
I received 5B agenda by email, or I could go across the street from CVS and get the 5B agenda off the bulletin board across the street from CVS. But this time I got it online and there was no word cookies on there. It said agree.
Okay.
And
So
I
actually,
did not agree to the document that popped up.
Yeah, so it'll say, do you agree or decline to accept the cookies? The term agree will pop up. And I will link actually the GDPR law in the chat. This is a fairly recent development, I'd say the last 3 to 5 years. The UK has had it for a while, but I'll put this in the chat. But yes, you have to, it asks you to agree to accept the cookies.
Right. Well, everyone
I
is
will
not
tell you about the
savvy.
email. I changed it. You don't have the email of me anymore because of the word agree. You will not be able to contact me at all by email. Only one person could do that. And only that person could do that. Other than that, you cannot send me an email.
I'm sorry to hear that, Mr. Morgan, but hopefully you'll receive our agendas every month and attend the meetings.
There's one way, another way I could get is go across the street from CVS on 12th and Newton.
Yes, I know they're posted there as well, so, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, you guys, are we done? We have no further business. The meeting is adjourned. Good night.
Good night.
I got good fire. If you want to trade. You want firepower?